Log on to NBCSports.com for previews and predictions on each Nextel Cup race by Benny Parsons. There's also analysis from BP and Alan on the hottest topics, including how some big names may miss out on the chase for the Nextel Cup. It's all at NBCSports.com. Matt Kenseth is trying to race his way into the chase. About 3 weeks ago, he was 300 points behind that 400-point mark. Now he's only... well, he's less than 200, 188 points coming in here today. Led 112 laps to this point in the season, and today Matt has now led 86. And we talked to Robbie Reiser.
I mean, it's hard to believe, but he told us Friday that he was going to qualify for the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup.
Oh, confidence helps. Let's take you through the field. How about that 17, Alan?
Well, Benny, Wally, Bill, you know how you get the most points in one of these Nextel Cup races? Win. Lead the most laps and win. And Matt Kenseth is well on his way to doing that today. He's been out in front basically since lap 66. His crew chief, Robbie Reiser, continues to calmly call out his lap times and his interval back to second place, Brian Vickers, and make very minor adjustments to the car, Marty.
Alan, 21-year-old North Carolina driver Brian Vickers doing an excellent job. Very solid day. And believe me, he has the message. Take care of those tires.
I might can get him, but I'm going to kill the right rear doing it. Keep my times coming to me. 30-30.
He said I could pass the 17 car, but I'm not going to do it because I would kill that right rear tire car just a little bit loose. The 48 car on pit road, Bill.
Championship leader on pit road, Marty. Dave.
Guys, he is in right now. They'll change all 4 tires and make a track bar adjustment on that car. I think he thought he had a tire going down, otherwise he wouldn't have come on pit road quite so quickly. 4 tire change to get it back out here. He'll lose a lap at this point. He's gone.
This is clearly an unscheduled stop for the 48 team.
Chad Knaus, the crew chief, sitting there on the box, doesn't seem to be
too worried.
Too worried about things.
Well, he's in the spot for the lucky dog if the yellow comes out. Probably back on the lead lap if everybody else pits.
But you know, this is the same tire they used at Michigan. And Jeff Gordon made three unscheduled stops at Michigan when he thought he had a flat tire. Brian Vickers thought he had a flat tire, was going on pit road at Michigan, ran the wall. I just wonder if he had a tire problem or a tire was going down with Jimmy. Are we doing the same? Are we having the same problems here again today? Think that you have a flat tire, but it isn't.
And just for you fans that watch the chase to the championship, by Johnson coming onto pit road under green, Biffle assumes the championship lead, and the 400-point mark drops all the way back to the 14th driver in the championship standings, which right now is Carl Edwards.
Yeah, those Biffle or Johnson has problems in these races. Right. It does. This 400-point thing goes a lot deeper. It helps everybody down around 11th, 12th through 15th in points.
And here we're going to see what Bill was just talking about.
There you go.
Carl Edwards, 396. Jeff Gordon, 378. Harvick solidly in. But now Jimmy Johnson will be okay if all the rest of these cars complete their cycle, make pit stops before the caution flag comes out. Dave, what about the tires, you know?
Right rear was the problem, guys. It looks like it's shredded on the outside, so it's either a delamination thing or he's had some sort of a rub, but that was definitely losing air on the right rear.
Well, he made the right call.
He sure did. Attaboy, Jimmy.
So the field last pitted on lap 127, and we're just past 161 now. So it has to stay green, otherwise Jimmy Johnson could be in huge trouble. Kyle Busch runs third. Let's continue going through the field, Alan.
Yeah, Kyle Busch starting in 24th position today, Bill. Reporting his car needs more front grip. When he's in the center of the corner, it doesn't want to cut as well as he needs. It's keeping him from getting back in the throttle as quickly as he'd like. Matt?
Tony Stewart trying to do the same thing he did 1 year ago. Win here at Chicagoland in a backup car. Tony says the car is really good. I don't know what else to tell you. It's still, Alan, just a tick tight in the center of the corner.
Well, Kevin Harvick is a two-time winner here at Chicagoland. He's running in 5th place right now. He's not saying a whole lot on the radio. His crew chief, Todd Berrier, tells me the tires look good that are coming off the car, and really they're okay. Marty?
Alan gave a call to Greg Biffle for the key observation that the handling was going away from his car and it was too loose, and there's a wreck in turn 1.
Elliott Sadler.
Stay up there, man. Just stay up there.
Wanna
Stay up there.
speculate?
Stay up there. Keep rolling if you can. Stay up there.
I think he hit the wall way. He got tire marks way early to
Come
the
on down.
tri-oval here.
Looks like he blew a tire coming through the tri-oval.
Yep.
Michael Waltrip did that in the Busch race at Kansas last year. Almost exactly the same thing. Dave?
Now, apparently it was something that Elliott knew was happening. He said, I tried to tell y'all, and that was the only thing I heard. So either told him he had something going on or something like that.
So for point of clarification, this caution comes out on lap 163. The previous caution was at 127. Most of the field pitted at lap 119, so this helps Jimmy Johnson's chances, but hurts him as far as...
He's a lap down.
Right,
now.
exactly.
One thing about it, when you're driving these race cars and you're driving lap after lap, and here's where I think we're going to see this car blow is going through the tri-oval, because there's big black marks down here. Right about here. Yep. But see, you know, when you're driving lap after lap after lap, and you're so in tune and focused with this race car, and then all of a sudden you feel something different. And if you go by what your butt says, you should come in the pits and change your tires. But you don't want to make the wrong call and come in and say, oh, you know what, the tires look good and I lost 2 laps, and then you feel terrible for the team.
See, Jimmy Johnson had that same situation. He came in. But, you know, I mentioned Michael Waltrip. He did exactly the same thing in a Busch race at Kansas last year. And he told me, Wally, that's the hardest he's ever hit a wall in his life, because there's no safer barrier there.
Right.
You just go bam into that solid wall.
Yeah.
And to clarify the Jimmy Johnson situation, he is 1 lap down, but Mike Wallace was the first car lap down. He is the lucky dog. So Jimmy Johnson will be a lap down. Matt Kenseth brings the field to pit road under caution with 164 laps on the board here in Chicagoland. Matt?
Stewart says the 3 cars in front of him are locked down. They need to make an air pressure adjustment. He needs to be better up off the corner when he tries to get in the gas. So they're going to make that air pressure adjustment to see if it helps, Marty.
Outstanding day for the GMAC guys. Middle of your screen, they have gained him 4 spots on pit road for Brian Vickers' car. A little loose, half pound in the right rear, out of the right rear tire, Alan.
Again, just a small air pressure adjustment for Matt Kenseth. A very quick stop by his team, Dave.
Casey Mears had a car that wouldn't turn. They make a wedge adjustment for that. 4 tires for him. He had a vibration too, so this is probably a break for him.
I think it's probably a break for a lot of guys, Dave. Because anytime you can get 4 tires today.
Yeah, well, and you're also sitting there thinking, who's next?
Right.
On a day like this, you're not sure. You know, you're not sure who's going to blow the
and is
tire
it
next.
next?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Does Kenseth crew hole serve? They sure did. Comes in with the lead, comes out. Vickers comes out second. Tony Stewart picks up a spot. Those guys pick up a spot. Never see the 2 guys, Harvick and Biffle. So they'll be restarting nose to tail. That's interesting.
So Matt Kenseth has led 97 laps today. He's the leader after 165 at Chicagoland.
Man ahead of you. Inside. Clear, clear.
NASCAR Nextel Cup Series racing from Chicagoland Speedway is brought to you by Bank of America, higher standards. By the home-style flavor of KFC Original Recipe Chicken. Bring back dinner at KFC. By Nextel. Enter the Nextel Race to the Chase sweepstakes for a chance to win $250,000. By the Home Depot, NASCAR's home improvement warehouse. And by the United States Army, an army of one.
Matt Kenseth continues to lead under caution after 167 laps of the USG Sheetrock 400, followed by Brian Vickers, Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick. Marty Snyder.
Bill, this is the right rear tire off of Greg Biffle's car, and you can just see the absolute chunking on the outside of the tire that is all the way around this entire tire. They got lucky. They were 10 laps away from a green flag pit stop. Had that caution not come out, may have happened. The same thing to Elliott Sadler might have happened to Greg Biffle. Tires don't discriminate. We've seen it happen to Johnson, Biffle, and Elliott Sadler today. Matt?
Now, just up pit road, Rusty Wallace said the same thing. A blistered right rear tire. Now, for the first time today, Tony Stewart's experiencing a blister as well, all the way on this outer portion of his right rear tire. Now, Greg Zipadelli did tell him that the 48 had issues as well, but your car, which was a tick on the loose side, we made some air pressure adjustment to help that. It shouldn't be a concern. Alan?
All right, Matt, I'm here with Rick Heinrich, who's the product manager for Goodyear here at the racetrack in Chicago. Rick, for people that are watching and haven't seen something like this in racing before, and even for that matter, the regular race fans, why are these blisters in these tires happening today?
Yeah, we're seeing a tremendous amount of heat in the right rear tire today. We don't really have the type of tire wear that we'd like to have on the right side tires. Tire wear is one of the important things that actually keeps the tire cool. As the tire wears, it dissipates heat, and that's actually what's causing some of the additional heat.
So the simple formula is the hotter a tire, the more likely a problem like this to happen, and the way that a tire wears out isn't going as quickly as you'd like. I summed that up correctly, right?
Yeah, tire wear is actually very good. It's just part of what helps keep the tire cool, and you know, the blisters are caused by heat.
All right, Rick, thank you for taking the time. Rick Heinrich, the product manager for Goodyear. So, guys, bottom line is the tires aren't wearing out fast enough for the heat today.
You know, and this same tire wore at Michigan. Remember those right rear tires we saw at the Michigan Speedway? They wore out, but they brought it. So they thought at this racetrack it would certainly be no problem. They bring them here and they aren't wearing.
So these guys have had the tire troubles today. Carl Edwards was early, Burton, Blaney, Jimmy Johnson now, and Elliott Sadler. Johnson and Sadler chasing the Nextel Cup championship. Kenseth leads the race. Biffle leads in points.